I think about down south.
WDBFradio.com.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He has helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also, the founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish, is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
Oh, I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. Caught me a grouper
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning, everyone. Another beautiful morning this morning here in South Florida. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning.
As the two of us here kind of warm up and a little bit of coffee going here and get the brains working, I was kind of disappointed this morning when I walked out to let Kitty out. We go through this routine in the morning where I let my kitty out, and went to let her out this morning, opened that sliding glass door, and it was like, we're back in the sauna. We are back in South Florida. It is actually South Florida weather.
Yeah, I'll take this weather over the weather up north, though, any day.
I just enjoyed that cool stuff, you know. It's already 76 degrees. We're looking at, we're about a little after 8 o'clock, and we're already at 76 degrees. You can imagine what it's going to be going up to. We're expected, I guess, what they say is around 80. But when you know what they normally say is 80 is probably 85 and 90.
Oh, here in Florida, absolutely.
So get out there, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it while you can. Were you telling me it's going to rain today?
It's supposed to rain today. Yep, we've got a rain pushing through from the northwest.
Yeah, I see. I see a little bit on the screen here where it's showing some thunderstorms. It looks like it's going to be what, later in the afternoon? I can't tell.
They're supposed to say it's going to start a little later in the afternoon, but it's supposed to build up throughout the day.
Well, so, if you're going to do something, you better get out there and do it.
Absolutely, and today's not a great day to be offshore fishing, but you know there's a lot more. There's inshore stuff to do. There's a lot of great activities here in Florida. And
it's one of the things that I enjoy so much is being able to take the grandkids. You know, I get what's called poppy privilege. They don't call me grandpa. They call me poppy. I get poppy privilege. That way I get to go spoil them, and when I'm done spoiling them, take them back and let their parents take care of them.
Yeah, sugar them up really good and then give them back to the parents. That's what you got to do as the grandpa.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to have to do that kind of early this morning. It looks like it is going to start breaking down pretty quickly. Anyway, we have a great lineup. We always try to bring you the best of the best, and today is no exception to that. Our first guest is going to be Robert Warner. Robert is with the it's the Florida Fisherman's Magazine. I always have I don't know why, I have a kind of a block. It's Florida Fisherman Magazine. And he always has an outstanding amount of information for us, and I greatly appreciate him. Who else are we going to have on here? Let's see. We're going to have the one and only Maria Diaz with Nautical Jewelry. She's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on fishing down in the south part of Florida on the southeast coast, and a little bit about what she does. Kyle Sikora with Dockside Services. The one and only Dockside Services. If you've never met Kyle, I promise you when you do meet him, he is an unforgettable being. You will not forget this man. What a great gentleman he is, and the service that they provide. Mike Simcoe. Mike is with kitefishing.com, I believe it is, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does and the fishing that he's been exposed to. Let's see, who else have we got today? I think then we're going to have an open discussion. We're going to have about a 15 or 20-minute open discussion regarding what's going on here in South Florida. So anything else you want to get out there before we get started here, Mr. Devin?
No, we're excited to be here for the show. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, 76 degrees, but it's windy, so it's the humidity is down.
Not quite so bad.
It's not quite bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. I believe we have Robert on the phone at this point. Robert, good morning. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show. Thank you for calling in, sir.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Robert.
How's things?
Things are good. You know, I'm on the right side of the grass, and
yeah, a little rainy where I'm sitting, but we're good. So.
Yeah, where are you, Robert?
I'm up in Jensen Beach, and we're having a little rain this morning, but rain and wind. So
I think that's headed this way.
Yep, that's heading our way.
Yeah. But lots of stuff going on around the state. I'm sure you've noticed. The fishing has been phenomenal, just about everywhere in the states. The mahi have arrived. There's still kingfish out there. The snapper bite's been great everywhere. Grouper season's about to start, and I think everybody's ready for that. So,
well, you know, Robert, that's when the grouper stop biting.
Yes, I know. It's funny because here's a little tip for everybody. If you're fishing for grouper with those diving plugs, the ones that go down about 25, 30 feet, they'll only work the first few days of grouper season. After that, they seem to get the hang of that, and you won't catch them on those anymore. So, but the first few days they work pretty good.
Yeah, they get smart.
Yeah, they smarten up quick. So
that's
after
why,
they see a few of their friends disappear, yeah, they catch on. So
that's why fish are in schools. Ha ha.
Yeah. Well, we need to find the teachers and have them eliminated. So
there you go.
But we've been working on some stuff. I sent you guys a video to look at for you. We've been working on we've got a new show that we're going to be starting on May 23rd. We're shooting the first episode of it. We have teamed up with Tony Ludovico, world famous marine photographer.
Wow.
And we are going to shoot some shows that are unlike anything you've seen. They're going to be shot from underwater and from the boat.
Oh, cool.
And the first one will be sight fishing for cobia, and we'll be in about 20 feet of water, and it should come out great. We're hoping.
That's awesome.
The cobia are in 20 feet of water?
Up north?
Yeah, they're up on the beach. Yeah, they're up on the beaches about this time of year.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
They're in close.
They'll catch them right from the pier this time of year.
Yeah, they'll catch them in a lot of the piers this time of year. They'll be, as a matter of fact, I saw one from a pier yesterday, from the Lake Worth pier. Good size one too. So
I am surprised. I don't know why. I've always thought that you had to be relatively deep to get those fish.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. In they'll normally be near buoys and other things too. But anytime you see the big manta rays coming in, which they're coming in this time of year, you'll find cobia all over them. So. Yep.
So Daddy mentioned that cobia, they're opportunistic feeders. They'll follow the big rays. They'll follow the migratory sharks, the bigger sharks, and they'll eat the scraps off of them when they're feeding.
Wow.
They do indeed. But so we're looking forward to that. And yes.
Robert, give me a second. Are you hearing an echo? I'm hearing an echo in the background.
I am.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where it's coming from, and the producer's telling me there's an echo in the background too. Someone out there that's listening, if you could give us some feedback, if you're hearing an echo as well on the air, maybe just here. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure you were hearing it as well.
No, I am, but I just sort of talk and hear myself say it again.
So, Robert, what else is going on with the magazine? What else is new?
With the magazine, the new issue is about to come out. Anybody that has anything to get sent in needs to be in by the 25th. We have already started the production of the magazine, so if you can get your stuff in by the 25th, any articles or videos or pictures that anybody wants in the magazine this time, get them in by the 25th. It's posted all over the Facebook page and stuff. If you're sending stuff in, send it to pages@flfishmag.com. And we will get it, and we'll try to get it into this issue.
You know, I appreciate it when you call in, because you've always got so much information for us. And right now you're in Jensen Beach, which I believe is just a little north of us, right?
Yeah, you're about 40 miles north of you.
Yeah, yep. just a little stone throw away.
So what you're experiencing, we're probably experiencing within the next hour and a half.
Yeah, it just came through. It actually just stopped. So you got some rain headed your way. Should be there in about a half hour.
My goodness. Well, if you're going to do something, you better do it quick, because we're running out of time.
So, yeah, Robert, what else is, how about the freshwater side? Have you heard anything? How's the water levels?
Well, they haven't started draining Lake Okeechobee yet, which is a good thing. So they haven't started killing our river again. But they haven't started draining the river or the lake yet. No big runoffs yet. There is some great bass fishing. I saw some people out of Lake Kissimmee yesterday afternoon posted some pictures, some really nice bass out of Lake Kissimmee, a little further north. But from what I understand, the bass fishing's been great. The peacock bass fishing down in the south area has been good. And as always, the redfish bite on the west coast just never seems to stop. So the redfish over on the west coast have been great. So.
That's one thing I miss about being on that side of the state. Many years I was up in Panama City, and really enjoyed being so much on. There's waters everywhere up there in Panama City. We had literally everywhere. And one of the things I enjoyed so much was the seafood. My goodness, oysters, shrimp, sea trout, redfish. Oh my gosh, it just was like never ending.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you're a seafood lover, this is your time of year. From now through August, the fishing is going to be phenomenal, and everybody, if you've got the chance to get outside, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you can't go fishing, go hiking, go mountain bike riding, go camping, go do something. Just get outside. This is our time of year. It's going to be beautiful, and it's a time of year where everybody can get out and enjoy the family and enjoy being outside, and hopefully you're out on the water, but if you're not, just get outside. So,
yeah.
So for the listeners for the cobia, do you have any tips or tricks for them when they're fishing for cobia, for the ones that are just starting or just trying to learn?
Yeah, you can sight cast to these things. If you buy, they're actually made for barracuda. They're called barracuda tubes. They look like a giant rubber worm that you would use for bass, only they're much bigger. And the cobia seem to find them irresistible. So if you can get some of those cast in front of them, just pull it in front of them. Like you said, they're very opportunistic feeders, and they are aggressive feeders. So if you can get one of those out in front of them and just slowly drop it up and down in front of them, they'll hit it. And I believe they're called barracuda tubes. They're just long. It looks like a gigantic rubber worm.
So what they do is they use, for the CUDA tubes, to educate some of our listeners, it is a piece of usually a colored surgical tube. It's, that's what they make it out of. It's, they come in green, pink, yellow, and there's a piece of Surflon ran through it with a weight and a bead at the other end. And it's a treble hook at one end, and the hook sits right inside the end of the CUDA tube because it's cut on a bias, cut at a little diagonal. And the weight's enough to help you cast it out there, and then it simulates the green ones, every color. It almost simulates like an eel in the water when you're dragging it through the water. You get the action like that.
Yep, exactly. And cobia seem to like them a lot. So.
Yep, cobia love eel too, and my favorite jig when I'm sight fishing for cobia, I like to use the squid jigs. It's similar to for the snook fishermen out there, it's similar to a flare hawk. The head shaped a little different, and there's feathers on it, and I like to throw that just a little past them and drag it quick across the top of the water, stop, let it drop, and then drag it quick again, and that's the way I like to cobia fish.
That works.
They're
just about anything you can get in front of them. If you can throw a live crab out there in front of them, they'll take that. There's a lot of things they will eat. They're aggressive eaters. So.
They'll throw a dead sardine in front of them, and those cobia they'll suck that right up too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Devin said feather. When you say feathers, when I was growing up, almost every lure that I had was feathered. I don't think, do they have feathered lures there?
It's really just for the cobia jigs they make them. There's a couple guys out there that hand make these jigs that, bar none.
Yeah, it's amazing how we've come, the technology for making lures has come from the time.
I have kept my old silver spoon with the big yellow feathers on it for years. I still have it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I haven't heard that, feather a picture went up in my head when he said feather. Going back when I was a kid, and we had this literally a hook with a feather on it, a yellow feather tied to it, and jig it through the water, and whatever was going around.
To this day, if I could only have one lure in my entire bag, it would be a white feathered jig. To this day, I don't think it's beatable. You can catch damn near anything with them, and it's hard to beat.
Absolutely. Wow. So, Robert, give them the all the social media and the website again if they want to submit anything for the Fish Florida magazine. Also, if they want to come check out the Fish Florida magazine.
The magazine is at flfishmag.com. If you want to submit anything for the magazine, submit it to pages at flfishmag.com. Magazine should be out just after the 25th of the month, and we are on social media at Florida Fisherman Magazine. We're on Instagram and on Facebook.
All right, so as soon as I get myself on the water, because I missed a tournament this weekend due to the weather, we thought the seas were going to kick up, but they weren't. So we already had decided not to. But next time we're hanging tails, I'll send you some pictures to post up.
Yeah. Yep. Anytime you've got a video or pictures, just send them to us. We'll get them out there.
Absolutely.
Robert, thank you.
You guys have a great morning.
Appreciate you taking the time to call in, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
You too, buddy.
All right. That's Robert Warner with the Florida Fisherman Magazine. You know, I don't know why I have such a block with that sometimes. I want to say the Fish Florida because the two of them are so close, but it is the Florida Fisherman Magazine. They are online. They just came out with a new edition. You can find them online. Do a quick search. They're easy to find. Got to take a break. Last thing before we go.
It's old age, Riscala. That's why.
Oh my goodness. Rubbing it in. Don't go away. We'll be right back. It's the Fish Florida Show.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Roger's Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Roger's Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
We can make each other happy. Oh, I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Fish Florida Show. Riscala is getting his, I believe maybe his fourth or fifth cup of coffee. Don't let him lie to you. He drinks more than one.
Don't be giving out my secrets.
We've got a great lineup for you today. Next up, we have Maria Diaz with Nautical Jewelry.
And Maria is, not only is she a designer of jewelry and local, which is, a couple of my passions, but, she's a runner. Did you know that? She does these amazing runs.
Oh, I did not know that. The most I've ever ran, and I like to run. I did a 10K. Year before last, I'd not in 17, in 16 I did a 10K.
Wow.
And I did it in under an hour. It was a trail run. It wasn't flat surface, so it was through a wooded area, up and down hills, and that was a good time.
She was in. I don't know how big it was, but how long it was. But it was there was a lot of people down in Miami. Whatever that was.
I'll wait for Maria to come on, but I think that was a half marathon they ran down there.
Yeah, it sounds like something like that.
Half marathon is, I believe it's 13.2 miles or something like that. If I'm not 13.4, I don't know the exact number. I know it's around 13 miles.
I'm lucky if I can run 13 feet, let alone 13 miles. My goodness. So anyway, yes, she's a designer, a local out of Miami, and she's also a fisherwoman. Is that right? Fisherwoman? Yeah. A fisher person. A fisher. I can't call her a fisherman, right?
She likes the fish.
So hopefully we'll hear from her in a minute. As I'm looking out here to our east, I'm seeing it is building up out there.
Yep, the storms are building up. But here in Florida, though, our state is so skinny. As width-wise, when storms roll through here, it's even if it's like an all-day storm, you're always going to have a break, and it's not the before the storm or during the storm I don't like. It's the right after when it gets so muggy and hot.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't experienced that yet, it's like no other here. Yeah, you're lucky.
Anyway, I believe we have Maria on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Maria. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
I was kind of bragging about you to Devin and the listeners, how you are, forgive me if I'm incorrect, a marathon runner?
That's correct, yeah. I run marathons.
Oh, yeah, just like it's no big deal. Hey, you know what, Maria? I run around the block. I take a cinder block, I stick it in the backyard, and I run around the block.
Oh, wow. Well, we'll have to train you for a marathon soon, for sure.
Yeah, Maria, I was talking the furthest I've ever ran. I do a trail run 10K is the furthest I've done, and I wasn't beat up after it, but it was fun. I did that and went to work right after, and yeah, that's about the furthest I've got. I haven't got up to like the half marathon mark yet or anything.
Yeah, well, the trail run's a little bit more challenging with the tree roots and things like that.
Oh, and it was up and downhill because it wasn't here; it was up in Virginia, so it was a little bit hilly. The one I ran.
Wow.
Yeah, great. Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yep. And running with a partner, if you've never ran one of these before, people will say, oh my God, great, there's a downhill. You know what's right behind a downhill? And Maria will tell you that too. There's an uphill. So when I see a downhill, I'm like, great, I got to run uphill right after this.
Yeah, I've done the Spartan and the Battle Frog, I believe, and a couple of mud runs, but yeah, they're pretty difficult with the tree roots and things like that. But I'm doing the San Francisco Marathon in July, and I said, oh my God, that's all hills. And someone said, well, they all come down, so don't worry.
Good point. So have you been fishing lately?
I'm sorry?
Been fishing lately?
Yeah, I went fishing the other day. We caught mahi and a couple of blackfin tuna, and that's all we caught.
How far were you offshore?
About 6 miles offshore.
And using plastic or live bait or?
I was using a alibi lure.
Okay. And I guess you were pulling, right? You were trolling?
Trolling, yeah, of course. Yeah.
And how was the weather out there?
It was nice. This was Friday. It was beautiful. It was flat. It was very nice. We went super early, so it was nice.
Wow. And you landed some mahi, and what else? What else did you get?
Mahi and a really small blackfin tuna. We put that back, of course. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I love fishing. It relaxes me. It's kind of like running. Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of people do it. Yeah, I do it for relaxation. I also do it with my grandkids to build those memories. It's a lifelong memories when you're out there sharing the same experience.
Of course. I've been doing it since I'm 3 years old. My dad.
Oh, my goodness.
It is a memory. Yeah, since I'm 3 years old. I actually grew up in Louisiana, and we used to have our boats flipped in Venice, Louisiana. So we'd drive down to Venice and go and fish first by the oil rigs, and we'd go up on a riptide and do some game fishing out there.
Wow. Yeah, the oil rig fishing, it's a blast. The fish out there, they range in any size you want, from snapper to pelagic species that run through there.
Yeah, you drop to the bottom, pretty deep, and you don't know what you're going to pull up. It's pretty incredible. I mean, nowadays you've got the reels and rods and all that with the telescope, where you can see. But back in those days, you couldn't see you didn't know what you're going to pull up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about the technology for lures with Robert, who was a previous caller. It is amazing the technology that we have for the hardware since the time that I was a kid growing up. I didn't realize that they have reels that will tell you how much line is out there. It's just like, it's just stuff that you wouldn't expect. They have taken the technology that has, moved forward so quickly, like cell phone technology and stuff like that, and incorporated it into hardware. And now we have hardware that is technologically smart. It's just amazing to me.
So, Maria, nautical jewelry, Mother's Day is coming up for all the guys that don't want to be in the doghouse. And the women that fish, tell them what you guys got going on there.
Well, I've got 20% off on all ladies' jewelry, and which would include the shell jewelry, and a lot of the ladies like the marlin too. In fact, I just had a lady order one with the diamonds and sapphires. They like that. We've got the bracelets for ladies with the fish and the shells, and the hook bracelets with diamonds, shackle bracelets. So we've got just about everything you can pick, so you're not in the doghouse. Oh, we've got mermaids, and they love turtles too, and porpoise.
Ooh, the mermaids are nice. That's something my mother would probably like, is the mermaids.
Yeah,
Wow.
We've got the earrings and bracelets to match everything, and the pendant. So give me a call.
So for
305-271-0372 is the direct number to me. It's 305-271-0372. Or they can go to my website, which is www.nauticaljewelry.net.
So guys out there that fish, Maria is basically going to be your lifesaver when if you haven't already planned something for them. And so for the last minute people, what kind of stock do you guys have? Do you have something that if the procrastinator guys you can get out right away to them, or if they need it?
Of course, I have lots of things. I have the seashells. I've got porpoise. I've got the crabs with or without diamonds and rubies or sapphires. I've got octopus with the emerald eyes. Those are beautiful.
Oh.
I've got a couple of treasure coins. They come with a certificate of authenticity from different Spanish wrecks, and some just are old Spanish coins. So we've got just about everything in stock if they would like to order last minute. It's best if they order in advance due to the shipping. You never know what may or may not happen. I usually ship out FedEx or UPS, but if there's a storm somewhere, it's kind of delayed once in a while.
I see. And, for those guys that do that, and they're going to eat the shipping, you guys can overnight ship too also, correct?
Oh yeah, we do that quite often, especially if it's a really expensive piece. I don't like it just sitting out there, with UPS or someone for like a second day shipment or something like that.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
Maria will take care of you and make sure you can keep fishing on this Mother's Day coming up.
We'll keep you
you can still go fishing. Just give me a call from offshore somewhere, and I'll take care of you.
That's Maria with Nautical Jewelry, guys. Great pieces. It's all made here. It's all quality control is made right there in Miami. I'm sure, Maria, you touch every piece before it leaves, so it's exactly your quality.
I do inspect it under. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do inspect it thoroughly under a big magnifying, kind of like a computer screen with the light and everything, where I can see it on the screen if there's any flaws or anything like that. And don't forget the sailors. We've got quite a bit of sailing jewelry: the earrings, the pendants, Jacqueline pulleys, quite a bit of that. Compass rose are beautiful.
Yep,
and the Southern Star was. Go ahead.
I said, and absolutely, and it's 20% off right now for the jewelry.
Correct. For all the ladies' jewelry, it's 20% off, right?
Maria, if I'm not mistaken, you've only been doing this for a short period of time, right?
Yeah, well, the business has been here for 45 years. Captain Marty was the original owner. It's been 45 years. I have worked with him quite a bit at boat shows and things like that. And we've been around for 45 years. And at one point, we were the official jeweler of the International Game Fish Association.
The reason why I asked that question, of course, I was being facetious, but the reason why I asked that question is if anybody has any doubt, you can't be doing business for 45 years if you're not doing something right. And that's why I asked the question, just to kind of give credibility. You're not dealing with somebody who's just been around for a couple of years or even a year. It just started up a couple of months ago. This company's been around for quite some time, almost a half of a decade. So you're going to be dealing with a reputable person, somebody who is experienced, someone who can provide you with a quality product. If they didn't, they wouldn't be in business. So I just wanted to pass that on to those who might be listening. I'm curious, not familiar with the name Nautical Jewelry. That's a little bit of credibility for you.
Right, and you can also find us on the Florida Fish Media. I always get that backwards. You know, the Florida Fish Media
it's the Fish
website.
Florida.
Fish Florida. I'm sorry. Yeah. I knew I had it twisted somehow with Victoria Brinkley. Yeah, so it's Fish Florida Media.
Don't feel bad. I do the same thing with Robert Warner from the here we go, Florida Fisherman Magazine, because he's Florida Fisherman, and I keep wanting to say Fish Florida Magazine. So don't feel bad. We do it all the time here as well. It's all about being live on the radio.
Great. Well, I feel much better now. Thank you.
So, guys, check out.
Yeah, go ahead.
I said sorry, guys. So check out Maria Diaz on the Fish Florida app. You can also find her. What's the website and the phone number, Maria?
It's www.nauticaljewelry.net or 305-271-0372.
And you're going to be doing any running or fishing here anytime soon?
I have a run coming up on May 12th. That's just a 10K. It's for the Lou Gehrig's disease fundraiser. So I always do that every year. That's one of my fundraisers I like to contribute to.
Yeah, 10Ks aren't bad. No run really is that bad. Once you can set your pace and you know you're comfortable, that's all it takes.
Yeah, you just get in the zone and just go. Yeah, one foot in front of the other until you're done.
That's it. Maybe, Maria, if there's ever one up in this area, or you know what, we'll wait till next year. And for Susan G. Komen, their 5K, and we'll drag Riscala out there and make him do the 5K. Start him slow.
Yeah.
Have some EMTs.
A lot of people walk it to Riscala, so there's no shame.
Walking I can do. Running, that's a whole nother story. And it looks like it's going to be a day today where we're not going to be doing a whole lot outdoors because it's breaking down rapidly out here where I'm at. And we are in the middle portion of the northern portion of Palm Beach County out west that is starting to break down quickly. If you're going to do something, you better do it quick. And Maria, with Nautical Jewelry, thank you so much for calling in and greatly appreciate it. One more time before you go, Maria, phone number, website?
305-271-0372, and the website is nauticaljewelry.net.
All right, don't forget, guys, 20% off all the ladies' jewelry. Get your Mother's Day items for your special lady and that mother out there, because remember, all ladies are mothers in one way, shape, or form. And keep yourself fishing.
Ooh, he wants to end up in the doghouse.
Yeah, he does.
Doghouse.
No comment.
No comment. I'll take the fifth on that one. So, you guys have a great day and stay dry.
Greatly appreciate it, Maria. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too as well.
That is Maria with nauticaljewelry.net, if I'm not mistaken. And it is starting to break down, isn't it? I see the clouds moving in. It looks like this front that was just a little ways north of us is now I see it getting as we progress here, it's starting to get a little more overcast. So we have let's see, our next guest will be Kyle. Today we're going to have Andy. We'll have, instead of Kyle, it will be Andy. And that is a father and son. It's one of the things I like about their company, a father and son company. All in the family kind of thing, That's the way I like it.
All right. So we will be back. Stay tuned. Hang on. Stand by. Batten down the hatches. It's about to rain.
Yeah. Yes. Don't go away, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip. You can find your tide reports, buoy reports, get a fishing license, and even find someone to go fishing with. Plus great products and services from all our media partners. And oh yeah, you can get the Fish Florida Show on the app. Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern here on the WDBF radio networks. So download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip and tune in.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit ignition.
And then
Nothing. Ha 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 ha. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Atkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
WDBFradio.com.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala, and the one and only Devin. Good morning, Devin, as it's breaking up out there.
Good morning. But the sun's out and it's raining, so it's a typical Florida sun shower. I say sun shower to people in the up north and like, what's a sun shower?
Isn't it weird? You look out there, it is bright, sunny day, and there is rain coming down.
Oh yeah, but that's normal.
Cool.
That's normal in Florida for us.
Yeah, we're kind of used to that stuff. It's just one of the things that you enjoy being here in South Florida. When I was in Denver, things changed in Denver, kind of sort of like here, but instead of rain, it was snow. It would be, it might be 50 degrees, and in the span of half an hour, 40 minutes, it drops from 50 on down to freezing, and it'll be snowing.
Riscala, I was in Virginia in 16 and half of 17, and yep, in the middle of the day, it's 40 degrees.
Crazy stuff.
By the time it hits nighttime, or in the evening, it's 20 degrees.
Yeah, so I'll take the rain. Thank you very much. I'll take the rain and the hots any day, because the hots are definitely back.
Absolutely. Yep, I just pack a pair of shorts and another extra shirt in the car if I get rained on, and I'm good to, and a towel, and I'm good to go.
There we go.
I call that my summer kit. Just leave it in the backseat of the truck.
So what do you do if you have a boat that is in your backyard on a waterway of some sort, and it is a real pain in the behind to take that thing and go fuel it up? What's your options?
Or if you have your boat and it's docked up not at a marina, it's docked up, or you have it on the trailer next to your house and you want to go fishing, what do? You call up Dockside Fuel Services when you're in the Keys, and these guys will come down to you and fuel up your boat.
A la carte. There you go. A delivery service of fuel. And from what I understand, they don't provide just gasoline. They'll provide the special diesel that is required as well.
Yep. Gas and Rec 90. That's fuel that everybody does. If everybody doesn't know what Rec 90 is, it is the fuel without the ethanol in it. And they'll also provide diesel for you also.
Wow. Well, I believe we have Andy on the line with us, Andy Sikora with Dockside Service. Good morning, Andy. Thank you for taking time to call in.
Good morning, guys. How are you this morning? And I appreciate the up north weather report. And it's beautiful down here in the Keys. A little breezy, but no rain yet.
Hey, it's on the way. You guys will probably get it later this evening.
That's right.
We're hoping to get everybody out there all for the better part of the day out boating today, because it's a good start to the day at least. But
absolutely,
give us a call and we'll bring you some fuel after you run around.
So, Andy, for the new listeners out there and the people who haven't heard what you guys do, tell us a little bit about the business, what you guys do, what's the whole concept behind it?
Okay, the whole concept basically is we bring the fuel to you. You don't have to go to a marina. You don't have to put the boat on a trailer and bring it out to the highway to put fuel in it. Give us a call on the telephone, 305-923-6509. We'll set up an appointment. We'll come fuel your boat. We drive up with a truck and run a hose through your lot out to the boat. Easy, no mess for you. It only takes a couple of minutes. Real easy for the customer. No work at all. Just a phone call or a text.
Guys, and Andy and Kyle's prices are very, very reasonable. They're in between the station prices, and they're less than marina prices. Mm-hmm. So they're right in the middle there. And you get the convenience that, you don't have to fight with traffic to get your boat into a gas station to try to fuel it up, or even try to find a station with Rec 90, because some stations don't have it. And these guys will come bring the fuel to you. It's no fuss, no mess. They'll fuel up your boat, and we were talking to Kyle last week. You guys can even once you have repeat customers, you can even fuel up their boat without them even there.
Yep.
Yes, and that's probably 60 to 70% of our customers. After the first time we go there, they're not even there. They use the boat over the weekend. Give us a call, tell us to fuel it up sometime during the week before I'm ready to use it again on the weekend. So we work them into the calendar, fuel them up, and then just send them a bill. It's a very smooth operation, and their boat's always full of gas.
I like that. Hey, Andy, what can you tell us about fishing going on down in the Keys?
Well, it's actually been an interesting week just because of the wind, but the wind has laid down, and it seemed like midweek everybody that we fueled up was actually sword fishing. Some people caught some swordfish. You probably heard about the swordfish that was caught down in Almirada, about 605 pounds.
I heard that. Yeah. I heard that 600-pound tail hanging.
Yeah, that wasn't our customer, though, unfortunately. But we've had some of our customers have caught in the 60 to 80 pound range, which are good-sized fish.
Wow.
Not huge like that one, but big enough. But the middle of the week, it seemed like everybody that we fueled was out sword fishing, and then towards the end of the week, we heard of a few of dolphin getting picked up. Not big schools of them, but a few here and there. But people are coming back with some dolphin, not a lot, but some. So
Yeah,
they're slowly starting to show up, it seems.
For the people that haven't been down to the Keys yet, I religiously go down there at least once a year. Last year I missed it because I was deployed, but right around the end of May going into June is right when dolphin season heats up really, really good in the Keys.
Yes, that's really we're a few weeks away from really the dolphin showing up, but you're right. Mid-May through June, they start showing up. In fact, there's a whole bunch of dolphin tournaments coming up here. Last year we fueled a lot of boats for the tournaments, but feel free to enter a tournament. Give us a call. We'll come out to your boat and fill you up as you run around trying to win the big purse of some of these dolphin tournaments, because they're big money tournaments.
Andy, I know that in speaking with Kyle, we've had several discussions back and forth. One of the things was, if I'm not mistaken, you can reach up to 200 feet.
It was 100.
Right. We have 200 feet of hose, so the back of the truck's got to get to within 200 feet of your boat,
Yeah.
which for most people at their houses, that's not a problem. There are some lots that are extended, and if we can get into your driveway, like I said, as long as the truck can get within 200 feet, which is most everybody in the Keys. Not everybody, but most everybody.
Yep, that's 33.3 yards short of a football field.
Yeah.
There you go.
To bring it down into perspective, so I mean you're in touchdown range and field goal range, but no problem.
There you go.
We're in field goal range for sure. And the average length of the most lots in the Keys is about 75 feet, just to put that in perspective. So, of course, we're out at the road, and there's the boats on the dock, so it's a little bit more. But for the most part, we can reach almost all boats that are parked at somebody's residence.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that the listeners, that we brought that up. And the other thing was that Devin brought up earlier, the pricing is very competitive, and the minimum, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, the minimum is 50 gallons?
80.
That's correct.
Oh, I thought it was 80.
No, we're a 50-gallon minimum. We try to lower it as much as we can to include as many boaters as possible. You know, there's a break-even point where it's just not even worth it for the amount of time and the effort.
Mm-hmm.
But 50 gallons gets awful lot of boaters, especially the smaller boaters who haven't been really able to use that service in the past, because most of our competition have significantly higher minimums. So what we've tried to do is incorporate people with 20 or 22-foot boats, which never could really use a service like this before.
Well, right. And when I was talking to Kyle yesterday, he said last week, you guys can combine. So if you have two boats in the same spot and somebody's taking on 40 and another person's taking on 10 or 15, that's easily doable with you guys, and you guys will be able to do it the same way, correct?
Yeah, we do that pretty regularly. I mean, we fuel all kinds of boats, but if you're having trouble meeting the minimum, frequently neighbors will get together to get a few boats filled at once so that they clear the minimum. And we also offer a discount if you get 150 gallons or more. So we offer that available if it's a couple neighbors. Also, if the total is over 150, we'll give them a little discount. We get 5 cents off for that.
Nice.
Oh, that's very nice.
Nice.
And a lot of
we do that with, like I said, we do that with neighbors also, because we're just trying to provide the best service we can to people in the Keys.
Absolutely. And a lot of these tournament boats, when they're coming down there, it's a weekend event. They're fishing Friday to pre-fish to find the fish, and they're fishing on Saturday. So you guys, schedule your times, especially if you're coming down there to tournament fish for the dolphin, because I'm sure the schedule will fill up quick, but they will take care of you at dockside fuel service. And like I said, while you getting the boat cleaned up and getting ready to go again, they'll be out there to fuel your boat for you.
That's pretty smooth. That you don't even have to worry about it. For me, I picture like somebody who's on a waterway of some sort, and you got your vessel out there. Now you want to go fishing, but you know that it's low on fuel. Now you got to start that thing up, go find your marina, wherever that marina might be, fuel up, and that might take you up to half an hour, up to an hour of your time, where someone like Dockside Fuel Service could come in, take care of that for you. So when you get in your vessel, whether that might be a 20-foot or 40-foot, whatever that might be, it's ready to go. You don't have to worry about the fuel. It's all done, ready to ride, start it up, and head out.
No, I would like to just add on to what he said, what Devin said about the tournaments, because the Jimmy Johnson tournament just happened, and last year the same thing during the tournament. We do book up, so please, if you're going to be fishing the tournament, schedule an appointment so that, because you'll know either Friday or Saturday you're probably going to need fuel, but either give us a call or through our website you can make an appointment. But we will book up that Friday night and Saturday night of tournaments. We will be pretty busy. We'll get to everybody. It might be a little bit later on some people, but the sooner you book, the better assurances we'll get you at a reasonable time. So
what you're saying, Andy, is if you're Kyle or on there, bring have an energy drink waiting on the boat for you. You guys are out there. Yes. So that last tournament we worked Friday night. We worked pretty late, but we got everybody. They called us. Everybody had fuel to go out the next morning, so we were pretty excited about that. But like I said, as the tournament's coming up, there's a couple of bigger tournaments here in the Upper Keys. There was just a tournament down in Key West last week. We fueled some boats up for that also. But the sooner we can get you on the calendar, the better that works for us and for you as far as a reasonable time for us to get to you. That's awesome. That's awesome. So remember, guys, a cup of coffee or a energy drink will keep you in Andy's and Kyle's good graces when it's tournament weekend.
And he said something else. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andy, but did you say that we could order online?
Yeah, if you go to our website, www.dockside-fuel.com, you can actually schedule an appointment online also, and it just generates our calendar. It's connected to the calendar on the website. So if it's available, we should be able to get to you. And as we put in schedule appointments, it blocks it off on the website also. Calendar.
I don't think you could make it.
They can actually schedule right online.
I really don't. I don't think it could get any easier than that, because I know for me a lot of times I don't want to get involved in a phone call for a variety of reasons. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on, and me, you know me, I'm a talker, so I don't really want to get on with the phone. I'd rather just be able to send a note or something, have it done, know that it's taken care of, and carry on with whatever else I've got. You can go online, you can order it online, and have it done, know that it's being taken care of for you, and go on with your day. You could, honestly, can you make it any more simple than that?
No, and texting works that way too. A lot of people that would prefer not to call, they just text us and we coordinate a time through text, and it's quick, it's efficient, and it's much quicker than a phone call most of the time.
Andy, anything on bottom fishing?
Not really. We haven't heard. Like I said, everybody we were fueling midweek was sword fishing, which I thought was interesting, and I don't know that was related to the big fish that was caught or not. We haven't heard anybody else bottom fishing this past week. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, Riscala, it was a 600-pound swordfish caught right on the humps out there.
Unbelievable. Now, were they fishing day or night?
It was daytime fishing, yes.
No, yeah, they now fish daytime for it in, like 1,400 to 1,600 feet of water, so it's deep. A lot of the guys are using electric reels and a huge hunk of lead to get the weight all the way down there. It's quite an interesting setup when you talk to people that are doing it, how they're doing it.
Wow. I don't know why, but in my mind, I thought that sword fishing was typically done at night.
I think it was when they first started sword fishing in the Keys. The first fish that were caught were at night, and for a couple of years, really, everybody was going at night. They thought that was the only time you could catch them. Mm-hmm. And I think they've come to the realization at that depth, it's pretty dark down there day or night. They do attach a light or a glow stick to the line to kind of attract the fish's attention while it's down there to get it to come in to find the bait. But that's pretty much the procedure. Day or night, they put a light on it because it's so deep, it's pretty dark down there.
Wow.
But not too many people fishing at night anymore. I think it seems as though everybody's going out during the day because they've proven you can get them during the day.
Oh, I still love to nighttime swordfish, Andy. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's A, it's for the swordfish, and B, it's relaxing. Once you get the bait out, you go sit down, lay back, wait to hear a click, you watch the stars.
You're pulling though, right?
It's a great time. No, we're doing the same thing. Nope. And you just don't have to. Nighttime, you're not going to get as big. It doesn't produce as big swords as daytime. You'll get it on occasion, but nighttime you just don't have to drop as deep.
Huh.
Interesting. Wow. No, that's one of the few fishes I've not actually targeted out there. I've not gone sword fishing myself, so I'm not totally up on. Other than what people have told me, I'm not totally up on doing it myself. Most of the other fish down here I've caught.
We'll have to put that on the bucket list. All right, we're up against the break, and I've got to take a break here real quick. That is Andy Sikora with Dockside Fuel Service. Andy, thank you so much for calling in this morning. Wish you a wonderful day, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We're up against a break, but we will be right back. It's the Fish Florida Show with Riskala and Devin.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard, North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He has helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also, the founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish, is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. Call me a grouper. Stop!
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I'm your host, Riscala, with the one and only Devin Canhigh. Good morning, Devin.
Good morning, good morning.
Yeah, we're seeing a little sunshine. We're seeing what I call a little liquid sunshine out there as well. It's going to be a warm one, so if you're going to do something, you better get out there and do it quick, because from what I understand, we have a front moving down. We have a front coming in from north.
It's coming from the west-northwest.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably going to be here not too long, so if you're planning on something to do out there, you better do it quick. We have a wide variety of people coming on. My next guest is Mike Simcoe. Mike is with kitefishing.com, I believe it is. He'll correct me when he comes on. And a wide variety of things you can do with kites, huh?
Oh, yeah.
We were talking a little bit about that during the break and what kind of fish you can fish for with using a kite. I was quite surprised at how sophisticated they are, because in my ignorance, I always thought, kite fishing, what the heck can you do with kite fishing? And I'd seen people many times when I had my own boat out there, way out there, kite fishing, and never really took it seriously. And then met up with Mike and found out, oh my goodness, how wrong could you be? My goodness. Anyway, good morning, Mike. Mike Simcoe with kitefishing.com. Welcome to the Fish Florida Show. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Riscala and Devin. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Really good. So you got it right. It's kitefishing.com. And how are you guys doing today?
We're doing well. How about yourself? How's the weather where you're at?
Well, it's really good. I'm in North Palm Beach. We have a nice breeze today and actually really fishy conditions. I've been out the last few days. Friday being an absolutely beautiful Chamber of Commerce day with just enough northeast wind to get a kite up. We were sword fishing. We threw one kite up with a couple gogs and had two rods dropping for swordfish. So that's just another dimension that a kite can add to a spread. So when you think that you can only maybe do some long deep dropping, throw a kite up and it'll put your live baits away from the boat.
Oh yeah. So you can be dolphin fishing and sword fishing at the same time.
Huh.
Yeah, it actually worked out great. The last few times we've been out, we did catch some really nice dolphin on the kite baits, and got some swordfish too.
So when I say dolphin, for all the listeners that don't fish, I mean mahi or dorado. It's not an actual flipper. So sorry for the confusion if anybody's listening on that.
You're right. It's the dolphin fish.
I'll get somebody to look at me strange every once in a while when I say that, and I go, okay, no, it's not what you think. That's not at all.
Right on.
So how was the deep drop, and how'd you guys do?
It was really great. I'd say for the last 2.5 months, the sword bite by day has been really epic. It's not uncommon now for guys to go out, drop, and get 2-3 fish a day.
Wow.
And you're at least getting that many bites. We've been trying a different technique this time. I mean, this is a little off the topic of kite fishing, but we've been trying to manually crank these fish up from the bottom, so no electric assist whatsoever. And to do so, you have to modify your tackle, you have to modify your line. We've dropped down to really light braid. On the buoy rod, we'll put 30-pound braid so they can cut through that Gulfstream current. And on the tip rod, which has a little extra weight on it, we'll drop straight down from the corner of the boat, and that's got 40-pound braid.
Wow.
But it's been great. That difference in diameter has really helped slice through the Gulfstream current and keep us down the bottom, and man, it's been great. Really fun. It's really fun to fish these rods manually.
So when people try to think 40-pound braid, and they hear people are catching 600-pound fish, you're not fighting the fish's whole weight on that. With 40-pound braid, the most pressure that we put on a swordfish is usually about and no more than 15 to 20 pounds of drag max. At nighttime, even the daytime, because swordfish have very soft mouths. So you will, if you put any more than really about 20 pounds of drag on a fish, you're going to end up pulling that hook because their mouth is so soft on the inside.
Oh, wow. That's
exactly right. You're right about the 15 pounds. That's our fighting drag pressure is 15 pounds. I might start with a little bit more than that just to kind of make sure in the let's say like in the first 10 to 15 seconds of the fight, that we've got a little extra on there, maybe to drive a hook in, and then after that we back it right off.
Yep. So you're not actually a Riscala. You're not the weight of the drag has nothing to do with pulling that fish up. That fish is going to come up naturally with when you're fighting him.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm always learning. I'm always open to learning. And again, I've learned something new. Mike, tell me about what different species can you get using kite fishing? Devin and I were talking about that off the air. What different species can you go after doing this?
Well, I'm going to give you the list of everything I remember, but I can tell you that the sky's the limit. We've caught sailfish, wahoo, yellowfin tuna, blackfin tuna, bonita, kingfish, jacks. Amberjack have come up and eat these things in shallower water. Spinner sharks, tarpon. And I know I'm missing probably equally as many fish, but that's how many different species that I've caught in recent memory on a kite.
Wow. Yeah, and typically for the tournament guys, the people going out there, when you're putting up a kite, you're going after the kingfish, you're going after the dolphin, you're going after, if the luck be told you get a wahoo bite on there, you better have a great crew on there, but the wahoo will bite that also.
So true. We've caught many of those, and I forgot. I don't think I mentioned dolphin, but yeah, dolphin all the time. If they're pelagic species and they're roaming around and they like to eat live bait, pretty much that's what you get.
And when those sailfish are cruising the top of the water, you better hang on because there's a couple of them coming in for those kite baits.
Absolutely right. It's funny because I fished so many tournaments, and kites and live bait has just been like a standard equipment for fishing the tournaments that I enter. We've had days when, and this is far and few between, a deeper bait will get the bite. Okay? You never know. It's 3 dimensions out there, so the swords can be down low. But the vast majority of days, probably 95%, is when sailfish will come and eat. They just cannot resist a bait struggling on the surface. It triggers a predatory response that I don't think is matched in any other way.
Oh, I've seen it where all you see is that sail pop out of the water, and you're like, here we go.
Yep.
They are a very visual catch. It's very, very.
It is. If you're going out there, for the entertainment purposes, sailfish are pound for pound the best entertainment catch you can have out there.
Yeah, I call it a visual, very visual. They come up out of the water, they run on top of the water. Beautiful fish, my goodness, beautiful fish. And I until I met Mike, I had no idea the sophistication of kite fishing. I always had this simple thing in my mind. So it can be quite an adventure if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and Michael testified too. If you're out there and you know what you're doing, you can get 2 kites up, so that's 6 lines out there.
Wow.
Plus, you can have lines on the other side of the boat. It gives you a great advantage of putting extra lines out with the kites because you're controlling the depth of where you're gonna, where you want your fish, and you're controlling the placement of where your baits are with the kites. Also.
Wow.
Yep, you're right on about that. And again, we're fishing in 3 dimensions, so if you add wind into that, the kites will keep 6 baits on the surface. 2 kites will keep 6 baits up. You can drop 2 or 3 more baits at multiple depths with various lead weights. And then if you have wind on top of that, you can now drift on the lee side of the boat, or on the windward side of the boat, you could actually drift more baits in the surface. So I can't tell you how many baits. We've had 12 baits out at once.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
35.
Our typical setup when we go out there, we'll put the 2 kites up, so we'll have 6 kite baits out there. Then we'll have at least 1 dead bait floating out there. Then I'll be on the other side of the boat, and I'll have a balloon bait out, I'll have a free line bait out, and I'll have a down bait out on the lead.
Wow.
Yeah, there you are. Depending upon the wind, Riscala, depending upon the wind, oftentimes the wind will push you over the reef, so right off the edge from the deep into the shallows. Or vice versa. You cover all multiple depths, so you should have a deep rod, like a snapper rod, a gripper rod down, because you never know what's going to be on the bottom as you're traversing across the different topography.
Wow. Have you done any bottom fishing lately?
I haven't. This is my time of year to, pretty much chase. We'll run and gun for the big dolphin right now. So we like to run offshore. We'll run around a bit, drop for swords. So I haven't done much bottom fishing, but I can tell you, I heard the snapper bite's been great.
And you mentioned tournaments. So is there tournaments that you're involved in right now?
I was supposed to be in a tournament this weekend, and unfortunately, our boat, we were halfway down to Key West from Port Palm Beach, and we had an issue with one of the caterpillars, and 200 live baits later, we're back at the dock. So we missed the final sail, which was the final leg of the Quest for the Crest, which was a bummer, but that was the last sail tournament of the season.
Well, sad to hear that. I wish you well in trying to recover from all of that and get things going again. Is there another tournament shortly coming up? I don't know anything about any tournaments. Any information you can give about tournaments coming up?
I can. In fact, we're getting prepared right now for the Custom Boat Shootout, which is in the Abaco Islands. We will be at the Abaco Beach Resort starting on the 1st of May. And during that week, it's primarily a marlin tournament, so I'm fishing a custom boat out of Jupiter that week. At the same exact time in West End, Bahamas, is a tournament called the Winner's Circle. That's the Mike Schmidt, the baseball legend. That's his charity event. That's an annual thing. They've been doing it there for, I don't know how many, 20 years.
Wow.
That's on the same weekend, which I think is May 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And after that, the week after that, is the Custom versus Production Shootout. So now Skip Smith in the Abacos brings in production boats. So the first leg, a week from now, is just custom sport fish boats. The following week, the production boats like Vikings and Bertrams and Hatterases and Enriquez and all the different production style boats can join in and fish against the custom boats.
Huh.
It's a very cool format, and it's a fun thing we do every year.
Well, this is very interesting. Again, I don't know a whole lot about the different stuff that's going on with regard to tournaments, so I appreciate you sharing that with us. So it looks like the weather is gradually breaking down where I'm at. What does it look like where you're at?
It's blowing pretty hard. I understand there's pretty big seas out there today, and it's supposed to blow until Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday shapes right back up again. Sun comes out, calm seas, light winds. Really nice cross.
Setting up for a perfect weekend next weekend.
That's what it sounds like.
I know.
And just enough time to pre-fish.
Yeah, pre-fish. I'm going to be over in the Freeport area chasing yellowfins, hopefully.
Oh my.
Yeah, last time I heard the yellowfins were up north right on the point. They haven't made it down yet, but they're and that was a few weeks ago, so I'm sure they're going to be thick now.
Oh yeah, they're cranking up there right now from what I hear. You're right. There's big dolphin up there. There's a lot of buddy of mine, that same custom boat I'm fishing a week from now. They caught 3 blue marlin 2 days ago, and a bunch of yellowfin, bunch of big dolphin.
All right, so I'm Mike, you're just a stone throw away, so I'll get some yellowfin when you come back, hopefully, so I can make some sashimi and some ceviche.
All right, good. You can hold me to that.
I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, before you go, if you'd be so kind, if people want to reach you, if they want some more information about what you have, would you share that, please?
We lost connection.
Yeah. Looks like we got busted off.
No, I don't even think we're on. We're connected. Are we connected?
No.
Yeah, you guys are on. Mike hung up.
Okay. All right. Well, we lost Mike with Dockside Fuel Services. Looks like his cell service may have went out, or it was time for him to jump on the boat and go fishing.
Right. It's never a dull moment. When you're doing live, you can never tell what's going on. It's not like you pre-record it and then we can edit all of that stuff out. It is live, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, we disconnected with Mike. So it's Mike Simcoe, kitefishing.com, if you want some more information. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, our production manager will let me know if I'm incorrect, but I believe that we replay the show. So if you miss anything, or if you want your friends to hear the show, we replay the show every Sunday at 3 p.m. Is that correct, Captain Hook?
That's correct. Absolutely.
So if you missed the show today, or if your friends missed the show and you want them to hear it, tell them to tune in at 3 o'clock. The show will be back on at 3 o'clock. That way, anything that you miss, you can always go back. And if you're not able to make it at 3 o'clock, always we have archives set up for you. You can find them at www.fishfloridashow.com. We also have a YouTube channel. We monitor the website, so if you have a question for any of the guests or us, you can put your question in the chat on the website, and we'll read it on the air.
And Riscala, the show's also replayed at 3 a.m. on Monday morning.
Oh, wow. So it's 3 and 3. There you go. Well, I appreciate that, Captain Hook. Thank you. So anyway, we're up against a break. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
When selling your luxury home, you need someone who understands your expectations. Someone familiar with the industry, who can sell your home faster and get you the best price. Someone who can provide you with a full-service brokerage firm. That someone is Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty. Devin is a veteran who has grown up in South Florida and spent his life in Palm Beach County. With Devin's marketing strategy and his network of contacts, you will be pleased at how quickly, smoothly, and easily your home can be sold. Not sure what your home should sell for? With Devin on your side, you will receive a free evaluation. Call Devin today at 561-281-9138. He's ready to serve your needs and expectations. That's 561-281-9138. Devin Canhigh with Exit Realty, 561-281-9138.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. It calls me a grouper. So fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show with Riscala and Devin. Had quite a few different people on this morning telling us about a variety of things. From what I understand, though, the weather is going to begin breaking down here very shortly here in South Florida on the East Coast anyway.
You know, it's the middle of the week. Once next weekend, the weather looks good. That's great for fishing and great for everything else. It's during the week. I'm not too worried about it.
So enjoy it. Yeah. If you can't get out there and enjoy the weather, enjoy it before it breaks down on us. If you can't do that, you can always join us online. We have a variety of information available for you online. We're on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we're on www.fishfloridashow.com. We're also on the app, the Fish Florida app. You can download the app. It's available at any of the stores. Gee, where else can you find us? Oh my goodness, WDBF Radio. You can go there and find us. So we're easily accessible. We do have a page up on Facebook. If you would be so kind to go to Facebook and give us a like, that makes us relevant in the searches.
And we do monitor it. So if you guys have any questions and we can answer them live on the air, I'll be more than happy to answer any live fishing questions for you guys. Also, and if we miss it, if it's after, I'll be more than happy to field the questions next week. I'll make Riscala write them down for me, and
there you go.
We'll field any questions you guys have, anything fishing related, even hunting related. I do a little hunting, so we can field any questions on that also.
You know, I've tried to get. I guess hunting season is pretty popular right now, or pretty heavy right now.
Hunting here, there's always something to hunt for, especially the wild boar out here.
Mm-hmm.
It's an invasive species in Florida, so they do a lot of damage to our ecosystem. Here, they were introduced to Florida, so they're not a native species.
They're not native?
No, the boar are not native.
I learn with every time I'm on the air with you, I learn something. I always thought they were native to Florida. I thought they were native to America, generally speaking.
The boars were introduced here. They're definitely not native, and they do a lot of damage to our Everglades and farmland out there.
What do you mean? They dig it up?
They root it up, and their hooves are, they dig a lot, and their hooves do a lot of damage to the ground out there. So a lot of farmlands get damaged by these creatures. And like I said, they're an invasive species, and they eat everything also. So, I care about every kind of life out there, but when you have, they're good eating when you treat the meat right.
Wild boar, it is very good. Yep.
And so the less of them here, the better it is for our agriculture and our ecosystem.
Yeah, Captain Hook is telling me they have a real problem at the Space Center with these things.
Yep.
What did you hear about that, Captain Hook?
Well, years ago, and I know it still goes on, when we used to live up there in Cocoa, and we'd go in and had friends that worked at the Space Center. When you went in to visit them, or they're on some event or whatever, you could see where they had just ripped up and torn up the areas around the parking lot. And I guess at night they really get crazy, and every once in a while they'll bring in hunters to come in there and take care of them, but they're not allowed to take them out. They make them go and feed them to the alligators inside the reserve. So you're not allowed to keep them, but they bring in a lot of hunters constantly to try to thin down the herd. And a lot of times when I'm up in Edgewater and stuff, we'll see the Marine Patrol or the Florida Fish and Wildlife helicopters chasing them down and trying to get a eye on where they're going.
Wow. I didn't realize, when I think about invasive species, I think about down south we have the problem with the boas, with the constrictors down there. It's got
it's the pythons, the
pythons. It's got
the Burmese
really nuts
python
down there.
Florida, the Everglades, it's a perfect storm for that to happen. It's, it's warm, it's wet. Those snakes, they breed about once a year, and when they lay eggs, they lay a bunch, and it's just the right amount of humidity and everything for them to thrive down there. But back to the boar in South Florida, there's non-native species. They were introduced by the Spaniards in 1539.
Wow.
So it is a non-native species. For, like I said, it does a lot of damage, and for a hunting trip, you can hunt them year round, and they're just good eating. I like wild boar. Sorry.
I brought the subject up because I tried to get the people, because we try to, this is an outdoor,
Yeah.
It's something we do outdoors. So I tried to get some of the people that cover that on, but they tell me that they're very busy right now, with this different things that are going on. So, it's like when we've got fishing tournaments going on, it's hard to get some of the guys on because they're dedicated to the tournament. They've got an investment, and they, of course, they want to win. So, that's what I'm getting from these guys right now. There seems to be a lot going on. So what else? What other species is open right now? Is turkey season still open?
I don't know. I haven't really got into turkey hunting. That's one thing I want to do. That's the one thing, like I've talked before, that's one thing I will bow hunt for when I get out there and I'm able, because getting a bow for that, and I just don't want to use somebody's, and I go full ham when I do something like that. So that's another $1,500 investment right there into a bow.
So I'm not sure if turkey season's going on, and What else did we shoot out there? Deer season? It's not deer season.
No, it's
right
not
now,
deer
right?
season.
No.
Nope.
So, but the guys that I talked to did mention turkey. Now I haven't spoken with them in a month or so, so maybe it's closed up by then. And I don't know if it pertains to them if you're on private property. If you're on private property?
There's different laws with private property. Well, you want to know how I like the turkey hunt, Riscal?
Huh.
I go to Publix. I pick out the one I want.
You remind me of, oh my goodness, you remind me of this ad that I saw one day that was complaining to people about going hunting. Why do you want to kill these animals when you can go right down to the store and pick them up there? They didn't hurt anybody.
It's definitely a different wild turkey compared to farm raised turkey.
Yeah.
It's a different species. Yeah. It's a different, taste and everything with the meat. So, but yeah, that's my extent of turkey hunting. Going to Publix, digging through the stack and finding the one I want to either fry or throw in the smoker.
Oh my goodness. So on a day like today when it's, we've had a couple of people tell us it's really, really rough out there. So it's not really conducive to be out in a boat. And, but you want to go fishing. So we fish from the shore.
You can inshore fish too. We have our intracoastal, which is
that's true.
Which is a great estuary. You have everything from snapper to big jack crevalles, the snook. If you're fishing up north, you can fish the redfish, you can fish the trout. There's always something to do on the water, even if it's the seas out there are too rough to fish and if it's too windy to fish, there's always, Florida just has, what's a good word? Accoutrement? That's maybe a good word. A vast array. There we go. A vast array of other things to do.
Yeah.
You've got Loggerhead Marine Park. Great people up there.
We do have some really nice parks.
Yep.
We do. And that is one of the things that I do enjoy. When the kids were younger, we have quite a few really nice parks around here, which is one of the things I thought was so nice about the area. Jonathan Dickinson Park is not too far away.
Yeah, not too far away. MacArthur State Park. We've got Du Bois Park right on the beach. But when the weather's like this, I've got a covered patio. I fire up the grill, put on some music, grill some food up, relax, maybe do a little house cleaning on the inside, take a little nap in between. More like take a nap. My wife usually does the house cleaning. She doesn't let me clean. I know how to make dirt and make a mess. That's about it.
Well, Captain Hook says he has something from New Smyrna Beach. So what do you got, Captain Hook?
Well, we got a fishing report this week from one of our buddies up there. He's not a commercial fisherman, but he's a big time enthusiast. He goes just about every day. And in the intercoastal up there, they're catching big, giant shrimp at night up there. It looks like a city out there on the intercoastal waterway at nighttime with everybody lit up with their lanterns and stuff. And you're only allowed, I think, a 5-gallon bucket, which is the limit up there. But the guys are limiting out every night up there. And I mean the biggest shrimp that you have ever seen in your life.
It's really weird this time of year coming into the summer. The shrimp usually get small, but I've heard a lot of reports too that they are catching bigger shrimp, really good edible shrimp. And if you haven't had fresh shrimp before caught from our waters, it's like no other. It's the sweetest shrimp you'd ever eat.
Right, we're sitting right on the back of the boat. We got a 46-footer over there, and we're sitting right on the back on a swim platform with some lights in the water and a dip net, and just watch their little eyes go by. And these things, it's crazy. I've never seen anything like it.
Well, now, I used to do that a lot years ago down in Miami on Biscayne Bay. But the problem that I had was it was almost literally like a parking lot. There were so many boats that the main concern was to running into somebody. And we had people who were they were less than fair. They were pulling these nets behind them, 10, 15 feet behind them, and you had to be careful not to get wrapped up in the doggone nets. So we would come home with literally buckets full of shrimp. They weren't big, but my goodness, they would some of the best stuff around. So I'm amazed. That reminds me. One time, this has only happened to me one time. I was down in the Keys. It was right around the time when, probably around this time of year when it starts to get warm. It was just breaking from the cool down and starting to get warm. And it was at nighttime. We were fishing from what it looked like kind of like a dock sort of thing, and I heard this big skirmish going on, which I thought initially was a bunch of finger mullet. I slammed my net down in the water as these things swam by, and they were the biggest shrimp I've ever seen in my life. These things, I'm not kidding you, like miniature lobsters. I caught like 5 or 6 of them. Biggest things I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like that before. I'm wondering if that's what's going on the West Coast.
Well, Riscala, I got a question for Devin. Maybe he can tell me. I know you're not allowed to run push nets in Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach and stuff, but back in the day, we used to have a 20-foot dusky and we'd run push nets down in Miami. They were legal down there. Are they still legal?
I don't know on the top of my head with that. I think it may be for the commercial guys, but you have to have a special license for that.
Right, you had to have a commercial license, right. Well, I know, and it used to be so cold, and every time we'd go through Rickenbacker Causeway, we'd have to go empty the nets out. In 3 days, we did 1,100 pounds.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
Wow. I know, it's crazy. When you think about it, you have no idea unless you're out there in a boat and enjoying it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're off of the shrimp. They had the Boynton Beach Firefighters charity tournament and chili cook-off this weekend.
Oh,
what a great tournament! This tournament, it's an annual tournament. It is a charity tournament, and they always have a great turnout. I mean, and there's something for everybody. If you guys haven't done it, get ready to do it again. Go check it out next year. But the chili cook-off is great. They have a lot of live entertainment at the Boynton Beach.
Is that today?
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, so you tell me after it's over. Oh,
yeah. Well, there's Earth Day today too, and Okeechobee Park. Like I said, I was telling you earlier, Okeechobee Park. There's always events going on in Florida, but with that tournament, it's a great tournament. It's a charity tournament, and one of my friends, Angler Armory, they took first place in that tournament across the board. 54-pound kingfish.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations.
Yep. And 240s and 240-pound kingfish. So they did really good. This it's Hook 'em and Reel 'em 2 is the name of the boat. So these guys have they've put in their work and they did really good.
That is amazing. How many again?
54-pound kingfish and 240-pound kingfish.
Wow, that's a serious fish.
Yeah,
that's some serious meat.
Oh yeah.
So what are they going to do with that? Hint, hint.
Probably smoke it. Smoked kingfish dip. You make a lot of kingfish dip out of a 54-pound fish.
So with the when we're talking about kingfish, I know that one of my favorite ways, I think they call it staking them. Is that right?
Yep, you can stake them. Or you can stake the bigger ones. You can stake the smaller ones. You can fillet out.
Mm-hmm. I had a friend of mine. Now you're probably going to laugh at me when I tell you about this. Kingfish have a strong taste to me. Do they have a strong taste?
They are. That's why I like them. I'd rather have either smoked or made into dip.
So what he did is he soaked them, believe it or not, in 7-Up.
Yeah, you can do it. You can soak them in buttermilk too. That takes it out.
Yeah, he put them in 7-Up and fried them the next day, and that gamey, really strong taste wasn't as strong anymore. I was amazed. I was shocked. I looked at him and I said, "What? You put them in soda for Pete's sake?" He says, "Yeah, you put them in soda and you leave them overnight." And he fries them up the next day, and son of a gun, the taste was still there, but it wasn't anywhere near as strong.
Yeah,
I was really surprised.
Yeah, or you can brine them, and if you do it the same day, the fishy taste isn't there. But the second day, they are so oily, they start going away on you, and that's why I will only eat king the same day I catch it. That's it.
When you say brine them, what does that mean?
Well, you make a saltwater brine with
saltwater brine. Oh, okay.
Really saltwater brine, not seawater, but sea salt or just regular crystallized salt, and put it in a 5-gallon bucket of water and let them sit in there and get really soaked. And then that's the best way where you want to start out to smoke them is you brine them first.
Absolutely. So the season is heating up right now. Like I said, the dolphin are out there. It's once these seas lay down, it's going to be some good fishing. But to see them and Boynton Firefighters through our KDW circuit here throughout the summer, going into, because it's not little by any means. It started in April, and our season goes from April all the way through November for tournaments for KDWs.
Wow.
And the Boynton Firefighters has historically, the weather has always been bad, and NOAA predicted some bad weather. That's why I didn't fish it, because we weren't fishing on traditionally our bigger boat. We were going to fish a small 23, and it just wasn't conducive to fish. That's the only reason we didn't fish it. But they always hang a really big kingfish, probably one of the biggest of the seasons during this tournament.
And this is a charity kind of thing?
Yes.
Do you know who the charity is?
Not off the top of my head. Let's go ahead and check on the old Facebook.
Good to know that, if you're going to enjoy yourself out there fishing, and you're going to do that and help some people at the same time. That's great. That's the kind of stuff I like to hear about, where everybody wins, that kind of deal, where on both sides win. Those are the kind of deals I like to orchestrate when I'm doing business, where both sides of the buyer and the seller both benefit. That way you continue on, doing what you're doing. So when I hear about these benefits for charity, that's great, because God knows we need all the help we can get sometimes with all the stuff that's going on in this crazy world today.
Oh yeah. Like I said, it's, you're getting out there fishing, you're having a good time, and you're always supporting a great cause, because, the firefighters, of all people, they're the one people you're always, you don't want to see, but you're happy to see them when they're... Yeah. Got a personal friend of mine who has been a firefighter in Lake Worth, which is just north of Boynton Beach, and has served in Boynton Beach many years. Did that for, well over 20 years, and I'm very grateful to him. And he's also a fisherman. He used to be my fishing buddy many, many years ago. I'm very grateful to him for his service. Anyway, we're up against a break. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't go away. It is the Fish Florida Show with Riscal and Devin. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip. You can find your tide reports, buoy reports, get a fishing license, and even find someone to go fishing with. Plus great products and services from all our media partners. And oh yeah, you can get the Fish Florida Show on the app. Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern here on the WDBF radio networks. So download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip, and tune in.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Helping people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit
ignition. And then
nothing. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Atkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the last portion of the show. We've had quite a few different people on this morning, from Rick Warner, who is with the Florida Fisherman Magazine, to Maria Diaz, who is our resident jewelry manufacturer. We've had
and she's a fisherman,
on,
and she's
Dockside Service.
Maria's a fisherman, and she likes to run marathons too. She doesn't just do jewelry.
Don't cut the credit short, Riscala.
Don't cut the credit short, Riscala.
We've had Mike with kitefishing.com. And our next guest coming up is Rick Sutherland, and Rick is a professional guide. He's going to tell you a little bit about what he does, and hopefully he's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with regard to fishing in his neighborhood. Good morning, Rick.
Hey, good morning, Riscala. How are you?
We're doing good, my friend. How are things where you are at?
A little windy to be truthful. The weather's been a little bit windy. We've got some rain coming in and out, and so you know, you just kind of have to find your times to get out on the water. But other than that, it's been pretty good.
Where are you at, Rick?
We're right here in Central Florida, kind of by the Orlando area, and like I said, the wind has been really, really bad. I mean, you have, 20-mile-an-hour winds with 30-mile-an-hour gusts, things like that. Whenever, and being an inshore fisherman, as y'all say, or a freshwater fisherman, you got to watch some wind advisories here on these lakes, and
So Rick, I might be in Orlando next week to do the park. So maybe in the evening I can sneak out from my wife and we can do a little fishing.
Hey, anytime, just give me a holler. I go every weekend, and we like to get out there on the water. And like I said, even in a little bit of rain or wind, as long as we're watching our small boat advisories, pay attention to those. And the fishing's great. It's just you got to, bear the elements. So, come on down.
The wife's going to say, why, honey, why do you have your fishing rods packed? Just in case.
Well, I can see a case of the doghouse coming up on that one.
No. She lets me go fishing. She's a good lady. Anytime I want to go fishing, I get to go out. Once I don't over plan some plans that we have, if it's time that we're not doing anything or we're sitting at home, I can go fishing anytime I want.
Rick, but you can bring her, you can bring her. She can get on the boat and go fishing as well. My wife goes
Rick,
all the time.
I love my wife to death, but she can look at a boat and she'll get seasick. Doesn't matter if it's on a lake or if it's on the ocean. She's one of those.
Oh, okay.
Landlubber. What they call them, a landlubber.
She likes to watch the ocean from the shore.
Yeah.
Even
right. She likes that solid ground.
Yep.
Rick, what's going on? Is a lot of bass? What kind of fish are you catching?
Well, we're catching, believe it or not, a lot of the bluegill and shellcrackers are going up in close inshore. They're doing a lot of catching of them. Bass, of course, are biting. That's the greatest thing about Florida is you can catch bass year round. You know, it's just you got to find what stage they're in and where they're at. Right now, of course, they already went through the spawn. You're in your post spawn, so they're kind of staging up. As you get into summer, they're going to start getting in the shallows or the real deeps. And the shallows, whenever they get in the shallows, you got to find cover. You know, cover acts like a carport, you know, so to say, for the bass. So you got to pull them out of that cover, like mats or anything like that, and fish them out.
Yeah, so what I've been bass fishing a couple times, and what I did up north, when you find those covered areas or you find those down logs, I will, depending on what lure, if I'm throwing a big wacky worm or something like that, I'll throw it, especially if you see like a down log, that's a really good sign that there's bass underneath for Scala. I'll throw past it and I'll reel fast over it, and then I'll let it sink right in front of it. And then I like to hop and drop.
Yeah, he's exactly right. You know, you never, if you can, you always cast past your target and reel it to it, so you don't frighten that fish with the lure hitting, or you gently plop it in there, you know. But yeah, you throw it past your obstacle, pull it to, like a lot of the mats, you'll have to use like a big weight, you know, or something to kind of punch through it, what they call punching the mat, and you punch through that mat to get underneath there and underneath that canopy.
I've learned with a lot of these bass guys, they'll use all the way up to, cause you're not casting far, they'll use 60 to 80 pound braid to cut through those mats.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out they're using, in my ignorant mind, I'm thinking, well, you know, you're freshwater fishing, you're fishing for 8, 9, 10 pound fish, probably using 10, 15 pound, 10, 15 pound tests. No.
Yeah, they're using some heavy tests.
Boat rope. Yeah, what I use is I'll use a 30 to a 60 pound braid, you know, and the reason why is because, you know, you have to be able to pull that fish through that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something I didn't consider. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so, and always a braided line, you know, whenever you do that.
What's the advantage of braided?
No stretch for one, and strength for two. But that no stretch for when that fish grabs it, it's immediately, you know, as soon as you set that hook, you get immediate response. That line does not stretch.
Wow.
And, unlike, Riscala, unlike, offshore fishing or, fishing, bottom fishing, when you're bass fishing, when you set that hook, you're setting it. That fish is not pulling any drag, especially on that heavy test. That you're cutting that fish through the reeds or through the mats, and you're just getting them right to the boat.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I was
that
surprised.
was the hardest part I had whenever I went offshore fishing. You know, they have the circle hooks or the, you know, self-setting hooks where you get a bite and you just reel. You know, well, that was the hardest thing for me being a bass fisherman because I wanted to set the hook, so I wanted to yank up. And they're like, no, don't do that. Just reel. You know, so that's kind of a big difference in your freshwater, saltwater fishing there.
Yeah, we let the, you know, if you're bottom fishing using circles, you let the drag set the hook. Once that fish takes it, you put your reel in gear, and then the drag, you know, from your reel sets the hook right for you, so you just reel to them.
Wow.
Right.
So, Rick, I understand that you have, you're a guide. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I take a lot of people out, and I just do it more of you know, I'll do it a lot around here in Central Florida. You know, I go to like, you know, your Lake Harris chain, you know, things of that nature. I've even gone to Toho, and stuff of that nature. But, you know, I haven't been exclusively just a guide, you know, but I mean, I guide to anybody who wants to go fishing pretty much, you know, if they want to go, get a hold of me. Let's go. You know,
how do they do that? How do they do that?
They get a hold of me through, you know, Facebook, of course, the Instagram as well, at Sutherland Adventures. You know, and of course, I got a YouTube channel as well, Sutherland Fishing Adventures there. So either way, just get a hold of me, message me, DM me. We'll go out.
I like it. Now, do I hear that you have a show coming up?
Yes, sir. Sutherland Outdoors is the name of it, and we're getting that all put together. And you know, it's what I'm passionate about. The whole family's involved. Kind of, you know, my wife as well doesn't have the best sea legs, but she does enjoy going out. You know, with me. I have the kids go with me. You know, more tackle boxes, less X boxes. You know, get the kids out, get the family involved, and that's what I do. And we just go out. We film, you know, show you some of the tricks that we do, show you what we use, how to use it, you know, and of course, pay attention to all your, you know, all your safeguards and warnings and stuff of that nature.
Wow. And when is that supposed to start?
I think we're gearing it for the summer. For this summer is what we're gearing it to. And I'm not 100% sure if it's the summer or fall that they're going to start it on. But we're trying to gear it for this summer. And I tell you what, some of the most beautiful places in the world are right here in Florida. And a lot of people miss them because they don't get out and get in the, you know, on the lakes, on the waters, get out in the coastals. You know, Florida is beautiful. And just some of the settings and places that we go are amazing. And they're just right here in our backyard. Get out and go.
I'll testify to that. I lived in North Florida for quite a while. For 3 or 4 years, I lived up in North Florida, and some of the clearest water I've ever seen. We had springs that would just come up, the clearest stuff, like you find in Central Florida. We had creeks that would run. We'd ride down the creeks, ride in the creek for hours at a time, get at one place and get off at another. There's so much that we can do out there, and there's so much in the outdoors that is available for us that to stay inside is kind of doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, put those cell phones down and pick a fishing rod up.
There you go.
Jump in a tube and go. Go ahead, Rick.
That's it. That's it exactly. I mean, you know, just get out and have some fun. Put down the electronics for a minute. Enjoy family time. Enjoy being with your family. Enjoy being around people you love. Go to these lakes, creeks, rivers. It's beautiful out there. The state parks, guys, are phenomenal. You know, I think we stayed at Lake Louisa State Park, and I tell you what, it was amazing. It was amazing. They had great cabins. So if you're not into the rustic camping kind of deal, they have wonderful accommodations. But as well as just being able to rent canoes, kayaks, stuff of that, things of that nature, just get there. And what I do on the Sutherland Outdoor Show is we just go out, we have fun. Like I said, it's very informational. I mean, you're going to learn a lot of things and, you know, about a lot of different kind of lures, how to use them, you know, from these guys who make these lures, and they, you know, how to actually use them. I mean, a lot of people, they get a lure and they're like, oh, great, I'll throw it on the line, I'll throw it out there and reel it in. I didn't catch nothing, put it back in their tackle box. They might not know how to use it.
Good point.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. And, you know, and teaching them about the different colors and the different, the way the water is. It's a lot of people don't understand that if a lure doesn't work, I mean, it could be just because you're not using it in the right setting or the right color for the time. Yep. Also, you can probably have that same lure in a brown that you would have in a crystal or a white, that the white and crystal will work that day because it's in cleaner water, and the brown will work better the next day because you're in dirty water or a different spot.
Well,
and people don't understand that. You know, if you just tell someone that, oh no, you use a darker color and darker water. What? You can't see it. They wouldn't understand that unless they're told that, you know, they get showed that. I mean, my daughter, she won't fish if it's 30 minutes and she's not catching anything. Oh, she's done, you know?
Wow.
So you show her what to use and how to use it to where she catches something. Once she catches something, oh, it's game on. She's all into it, you know, but, you know,
I want to congratulate you on your show, my friend. We're completely out of time. My back's up against the wall. We're just completely run out. Thank you, Rick Sutherland, for calling in. Sutherland Tours. You can find him online. You've been listening to the Fish Florida Show with Riscal and Devin on the WDBF Radio Network. We will be back in a week with some more people for you. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, what a treat.